Hey, welcome back to White Belt Athletics. I want to chat a little bit about the types of mobilizations that you can do to improve how you feel and how you perform. Now, all mobilizations are not created equal, and they all might be targeting different areas of the body in different ways. Now, the concepts that we're going to talk about are taken from our friends at the Ready State and Dr. Kelly Starrett. I absolutely encourage you to deep dive into his content. So let's take a look at the different types of mobilizations. Number one, joint mobilizations. Now, these sessions are designed to get the joint mechanics to function properly. Sometimes modern living doesn't allow these joints to keep the best positions, and whether that be sitting at a computer desk all day and your likely shoulder position as a result, or sitting in a car for extended periods of time and your hips. So let's take sitting for extended periods of time and your hip position as an example. When we sit for these long periods of time, it may lead to the hip joint shifting in ways that might lead to compromised movement patterns or discomfort or even possible pain. Now, these banded joint mobilizations are targeting the mechanics of the joint. We can use these bands to create a better system for the hip in this case, allowing for more range of motion or ease of range of motion for things like squatting and hinging. Number two, sliding surface mobilizations. Now, these mobilizations are designed to work on the skin and the surface level tissues of the body. There are times, for whatever reason, that these tissues can become a bit sticky and don't slide around each other. As a result, they create almost an exoskeleton and make it really tough for the body to move through its normal range of motion. The Achilles area, or the lower calf heel area, is really common for these sticky spots. And we might see reduced functions like dorsiflexion of the ankle. So using implements like foam rollers or lacrosse balls or tennis balls, or even things like percussion guns, can be a great way to free up some of those areas. And once those layers begin to slide again, it commonly increases the range of motion and frees up movement mechanics. Number three, soft tissue or stiffness mobilizations. Now, the last type of mobilization that we'll talk about is what most people default to when they think about these mobility sessions. These are mobilizations that work on deep tissues and oftentimes are on rollers or some kind of ball to target a specific muscle or soft tissue area. Now, we often see that people can be less than intentional when engaging in these types of mobilization, almost mindlessly moving without any sort of thought process on their breathing or the position that actually works on range of motion in a productive way. The goal of these mobilizations is to work on these deep level tissues that not only increase the range of motion, but oftentimes we see that these mobilizations can reduce the pain that the joints are in based on the stiffness of the surrounding tissue. So for example, let's take quad stiffness for example. This is almost common as to be funny. Quad stiffness can often lead to knee pain. So as a first crack to addressing this knee discomfort or pain, we often work on the stiffness of the quad to see if that relieves a bit of that discomfort. So we can use a roller to work on the quads while we're laying on our stomach. Or if you have something heavy like a kettlebell or a barbell or a dumbbell or even a partner, you can work on it while sitting, maybe watching TV. It would certainly take your mind off of the torture that you think you're being in if you have something to take your mind off of that particular discomfort. Now, once that stiffness is addressed, the entire system now has slack that allows more freedom of movement. So remember, not all mobilizations are appropriate for what needs work. So make sure you're choosing the right strategy for your particular issue. Get the right tool, use the right strategy, and get to feeling better. We'll see you next time.